The collective had mapped the genomes of 47 sentient species across 12 star systems. They considered themselves masters of biological architecture, having decoded the evolutionary blueprints of civilizations far older than humanity's fumbling steps into the cosmos. So when the human delegation arrived at Station Kelvar 9 with their genetic samples, the collective xenobiologists approached the task with the casual confidence of experts examining yet another predictable pattern. Dr. Imogen Chen stood in the observation deck, watching the alien scientists huddle around their holographic displays. She was a geneticist herself, one of Earth's brightest, and she'd been selected for this diplomatic mission precisely because she could speak their language, the universal dialect of base pairs and protein synthesis. "They seem troubled," Samuel Rodriguez remarked beside her. The mission commander had sharp eyes that missed little. His military background made him cautious, always reading the room, always preparing for contingencies. "They've been at it for 6 hours, Imogen said, checking her tablet. The Vrin delegation said their genome took 40 minutes to fully decode and contextualize. Ours shouldn't be more complex, but it was. The lead collective scientist, a towering crystalline being named researcher Żatek, finally approached them. Its chromatic surface flickered with colors Imogen had learned to interpret as confusion and concern. "We require clarification," Żatek's translator rendered its harmonic tones into flat English. "Your genome contains anomalies," Samuel straightened. "What kind of anomalies?" "Sequences that do not conform to natural evolutionary patterns. Sections of code that appear deliberately structured, mathematical even, yet serve no discernible biological function." The alien's colors shifted to a deep violet. "We have never encountered anything like this." Imogen felt her pulse quicken. "Show me." In the laboratory, holographic helices rotated in three-dimensional space marked with glowing annotations. Imogen's trained eye immediately caught what had disturbed them. Scattered throughout the so-called junk DNA, the 98% of the human genome that didn't code for proteins, were patterns. Perfect, repeating patterns that shouldn't exist in nature. "This is impossible," she whispered. "It gets stranger," Żatek continued. "When we isolated these sequences and analyzed them through our linguistic matrices, we detected structure. Not genetic instruction, but something else. Something that resembles information storage." Samuel moved closer. "You're saying there's a message in human DNA?" "We are saying there is data. Whether it constitutes a message requires a level of decryption beyond our current capabilities." The alien's colors dimmed. "In all our examination of genetic codes across the galaxy, we have never found anything artificial. Evolution is chaotic, beautiful in its randomness. It gestured at the hologram. "This is engineered." The implications hit Imogen like a physical blow. "How widespread is it?" "Just a few sequences, or distributed throughout the entire genome. Every human cell carries this code. We estimate approximately 3% of your total DNA is composed of these artificial sequences. That's roughly 90 million base pairs of something." The room fell silent except for the soft hum of the station's life support systems. Samuel's voice was steady, but Imogen could hear the tension underneath. Could it be a remnant from an ancient civilization that modified our ancestors? "Possible," Żatek admitted. "But our dating techniques suggest these sequences are as old as humanity itself. They would have been present in your earliest evolutionary ancestors, millions of years before your species developed higher cognition. Then we were designed." Imogen's scientific worldview was crumbling and reassembling itself in real time. "We're not naturally evolved." "No." Żatek's colors brightened to something resembling excitement. "That is what makes this so extraordinary. The rest of your genome is perfectly natural, chaotic, full of evolutionary dead ends and vestigial code, exactly what we'd expect. But interwoven throughout is this other layer. It's as if someone took a naturally evolved species and added something to it. A foundation, perhaps, or a seed." Samuel crossed his arms. "Has anyone tried to decode it? Actually read what it says?" "We have been attempting to do so for the past 2 hours. The complexity is—" Żatek paused, searching for words. "Unprecedented. It appears to be multi-layered encryption. Or perhaps the data is compressed in ways we don't understand. Some of our linguists believe parts of it might be mathematical proofs. Others think they've identified what could be star charts." Imogen's hands trembled as she manipulated the hologram. zooming in on a particularly dense cluster of sequences. Her mind raced through possibilities. If this was deliberately placed in our genome, there must be a reason, a purpose. Perhaps it's a gift, Samuel suggested. Knowledge encoded in the one place it would never be lost, passed down through every generation. Or a lock, Imogen countered, her eyes widening. What if humanity, reaching a certain level of technological sophistication, being able to read our own genome, was the key? What if we're supposed to unlock this? Jothek's entire crystalline body pulsed with light. That would explain the timing. Humans only sequenced their genome recently, correct? Within the last few decades of your civilization? 25 years ago, Imogen confirmed. But we've only been able to analyze it at this level of detail for the last 5 years. And now you venture into the stars, the alien said quietly. Now you meet us. Now we examine your code and find this. Its colors swirled in a pattern Imogen couldn't interpret. The question is, who left this message and what happens when it's finally read? Samuel looked at Imogen, and she saw her own mixture of fear and wonder reflected in his eyes. Humanity had always asked where they came from, whether they were alone in the universe, what their purpose might be. Now, written in the very fabric of their being, there might finally be an answer. We need to decode it, Imogen said with quiet determination. Whatever it takes, however long it takes. This is the most important discovery in human history. The collective offers its full resources, Jothek said, though I suspect this mystery belongs to your species alone. We are merely witnesses to humanity's awakening. As Imogen stared at the rotating double helix, she wondered what secrets lay dormant in every human cell, waiting across millions of years to finally be understood. Humanity had always been the architects of their own destiny. Now they would discover they'd never been alone in that endeavor. The code was waiting. It had always been waiting.